Well, I'm sure we'll probably get complaints from the residents, but that's going to happen. I mean, I see that all the time whenever. Oh, I know.
Right now, like we're in the city, we should I'm sorry, but I needed help.
You can't pay them all at one.
That's not much. Yeah, and we're paying the rest of them.
The comment he made, I about bursted out laughing. I mean, he said, well, maybe we should keep the moving the residents when it gets rate increase. I'm thinking, like, the residents are going to get the rate increase. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, say, I don't want that.
Thank God I had a pass.
That's like my tendencies for a lot of things. You just said that. Oh, you can't see my mouth falling.
Yeah, Bill's not afraid to ask questions. Oh yeah, we want that, but he's also got to understand why there's certain rules set for West Virginia municipalities.
Well, I got a phone call about, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. Telling me I didn't have a choice.
Really on the spot.
Yep.
Wow. And you're right on time today.
But no, I got to do.
Tom was supposed to do a presentation today.
They're doing
Yeah, I didn't know.
Marshall County's in the orange.
Oh,
We're in the orange now. Yeah, I heard it on the news right before I got here, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. So that's.
we will.
I know they just canceled the annual dinner.
Oh, man.
I figured that was happening. I mean, there's just too many.
That's when I met with Paul yesterday. She had a.
Well, the thing is, there's just too many people.
And I understand that. I get it. Honestly.
If they haven't, I'm sure they would have had it done limited capacity. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, we were all ready.
if we're in the orange, you might as well not have it.
I just hope, I hope it'll be on next year.
No.
Okay. Because he deserves that recognition in front of people, not like.
Who's that? Oh, yeah.
You know, so I hope they just wait till next year.
I'm not sure what the extended plan is, but I mean, there's gonna be.
They're gonna put something together, yeah.
We just had to make the decision yesterday as to whether.
And I get it. Oh, I totally get it.
Well, we had 87 cars, which was 279.
Wow.
But we ran out of popcorn, we ran out of water. But we did get a lot of media coverage, like a lot of media news from it. So the first one we did for Toy Story 4, it went off without a hitch. Like we were just like, we were nervous to even say
Right.
So this one, of course, it was really windy, so we couldn't get the screen all the way up at first. Like you can still see, but it wasn't as tall as it was supposed to be. So ultimately, it did end up being fixed once it started cooling, not cooling down, but getting darker. When it stopped blowing, it was like actually shrink and all. But we had someone come and he had like 50 people who were waiting in line. Like we had people there at 4:45 and started at 7.
Waiting in line to get in.
Yeah, like we said, like we're not opening the gates until probably 6:15, 6:30 because people waited out. Yeah, and there were only a handful of people who were there that early,
Yeah.
but it's still like that started the backup and everything. So this KLC comes, he's cutting like we have to all the way back to 12th Street. So one of the guys on the industry, he goes up and says, that's not how driving works. Like you have these people have been there for an hour, like you can't, I'm sorry, you just can't. It's on the two bus. And so we have to go to the back of the line. We're not telling you to leave, just go to the back of the line.
Anyways,
Well, we have police on hand just in case, like, especially if get out of hand, especially with all the social distancing things.
Right.
And actually, this time we almost didn't have police because they just been working overtime to anyways, no one really wanted.
But the reason I
As for the vehicle, like, that's not okay. It's something. Like,
I did
it's
that.
supposed to be for the family and then go and flip this stuff. And once you say stop in line, to get in. So. He
have access to your email on your phone.
He just went and parked and then he just went and walked to the front.
And it's not attached to this one, it must have been the original one.
But you
But
can't.
I can go back and find it and get a hold of Sean.
I hate people like that.
I have one in every group, and you have
It was like
two
that.
hundred and eighty people with one bad seed.
Because I
We
went back
haven't
through my
heard
emails and I
anything
did
about
not
it,
see
so hopefully
where
we'll
this
just have
is.
someone who's gonna go.
I'll forward it. I'll do some research.
He told us one story, he told another person another story as to why he was where he was. And I told the cops.
She was
Share that person.
I feel,
Sharon.
I feel it's complicated, like, so when
Oh,
my,
because they get a bad rap, you know, with everything.
Mine's
going on.
wanted to know
so
if
like when my, so my
there
door
was
was
no application
broken
attached.
into, when I first moved in, there's some that one.
Did he just kind of
There's just crazy stuff. And I walked in,
find it in the street?
and I walked
Get
in,
access to your email.
I walked into the police
Do
department.
it on Monday, August 31st, crumbling and
Wallpaper.
We are
Oh,
getting.
12 a.m.
And I was
That's what he
like,
said, if you could forward to
how,
my email.
how
I
can
can
I
look at the application to see what
throw their lives on the line when they have that?
I get so many emails from them, they're so long.
It's
He's
almost
such a
like,
liar.
And it also goes with us trying to retain police officers, like who wants to work in a place where they have to go and that's like dilapidated structure all the time, like it's not right.
Here's my opinion on that whole thing. Here's my opinion on it. I think police officers, they should definitely be paid for them. No, they don't get paid enough for what they do. But secondly, here's the second thing. I also think in addition to that, there should be more requirements.
Oh, no, I better read
Police
that.
officers. Because I don't want somebody off the street coming on
Yeah,
where
you don't want
when,
like, you don't want the high school bully who doesn't have any, like,
or someone who doesn't even have that criminal justice education. See, they should have
Yeah.
criminal justice.
that's what,
education.
one of my best friends, he was looking to be, and that's what he wanted to be, and then he also got a job with the men. He got so much money, but he got a degree in criminal justice, because that was.
I don't wanna grab someone who's already been tested.
Oh, we're not, well, they're eating all lunch now, so we're done for now.
That's it.
Yeah, I think it's just some of our participants. Jennifer? And I think Bob won.
Oh, here it is. I put this- November 19th.
Yes. Bob and Jennifer. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're trying something new today. We're gonna have you kind of at a different spot so you might be able to see more of us and kind of feel more part of the group. We'll chat afterwards just to see if that worked better or if we want to try a different route with our computer next week. But thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being a part of the meetings.
Thank you.
But she also knew she was gonna be so stressed with what was going on, she's like, I can't, she will mentally deal with all that, because they already get like. I know you're real life.
Or my work email is much easier.
There's a lot of element, you know?
Well,
And
yeah.
steady street, you know, why you do this, or why, you know, go back to school, stuff like that. Like, it's really the meeting, that's that.
Stand up just a second. I hate to bother you while you're eating.
I think so.
I feel like that's.
They should have to.
Depends on the department, but I didn't watch it, I'm pretty sure you have to.
I think they do. I think they started, we're kind of, but I don't know if they.
And we're just made. I'll put the chair back down like you're doing. Thank you. Oh, Mitch, okay.
More of like a day.
I just kind of
Just
like,
to
hey, let's
cover
make sure
base.
you're not like.
Well, they do that.
If you want me to.
Yeah, but that's still.
You're gonna be
I'm on the civil service. I'm on the civil service committee for Washington County Sheriff's Department. So what it is, first thing they gotta do is they gotta pass the agility test, and then they gotta pass the written test. After that, then they send them out to the police academy, or that's usually now 6 weeks. But they do a lot of that down there, like testing and all that down there. And then, we have someone that does background tests.
Will you call on and Jennifer?
Okay.
If you would all join me in the saying of the Lord's Prayer. Our
Father,
Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
you all join me in saying before we test of the things we think, say, or do.
First is the truth, second is fair to all concerned, third will build goodwill and better friendship, fourth will be beneficial to all concerned.
Okay, I sound like a broken record, but there is not a whole lot to go over today. The Salvation Army bell ringers. Nancy won't be with us the next 2 weeks because she's going to be in some of the other counties taking her applications. We have 2 people for every time slot except 4 to 5, and then Nancy's down from 5 to 6. So if anyone is interested in going with her for the 4 to 5 slot. So she really appreciates, I did forward that on to her. So we're doing pretty good. And as far as we know, it's going to be at the Walmart. They do have both doors open now. Yesterday morning, I went down and they were both open. So,
It would be magical.
so I'm not sure if we're going to have both doors, one door, or what. But I think last year we were at the grocery. Was it the grocery end? Or
It was on the
end?
other side.
Other end,
Yeah.
okay. I was there twice, I was with the 4-H, so they kind of run together.
Now they
I'm
know
not
about
sure.
the apartment.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll be
I
able to
think it
one,
was
I don't
just
think.
one. And then Sharon, the adopted grandparent, she's still doing,
If anybody hasn't signed up and needs to, I love my paper at home, I don't know where I am on that, I think it's 50 something. Haven't heard anything from, is Brittany on here? Brittany, are you there?
No.
She's not on today.
Okay.
Tom and Jennifer,
I haven't heard, from Brittany about West Metro.
okay. Did you check and see if we
They
could do
did.
anything? Main Street.
You want to use my room again?
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, I would love
When we
to.
get a little closer to time, let me know.
Okay,
And I'm gonna put a thing out.
We're busy or not busy, or shouldn't be a problem.
Perfect, I'll put a thing out for the mailers. Did we do a grandparent plus the animals?
No, we don't have the animals.
The animals, I was in there today and they do not have the animals out. They have the elves.
Yeah, I was in
They're
there,
about
thanks
yay
to
big.
but they still have a lot of.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have checked on that, but I'll put a thing out, because the 4-H is still not allowed to meet. And they're trying to get some other Z something, not Zoom, but there's something else that they're trying to sign us up for to do the meetings.
Oh, gosh.
I am not technologically savvy and out where I live.
It's even worse.
Yep, so they may be finding a new leader before this is over with.
Oh, my God.
The only other thing as far as next month, the dates, I cannot remember. Veterans Day is on a Wednesday this year, so I don't know if that's gonna affect some of the working ones, if they're not,
Sure, what have
if
we
their
done
businesses are
before?
closed, or,
Nothing.
so just go ahead and have our normal meeting, okay? Now, the day before Thanksgiving, I think, if
We
I
usually,
remember right, I
have-
think that was like just if you want to
It
meet
it
for
was just an
lunch.
informal lunch, yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't really have a
we didn't have a
speaker.
program.
Yeah, I have it in our speaker schedule that we're not gonna have an actual program just because it is the day before Thanksgiving,
Okay.
so.
So that's what I needed to know, is how we normally done those dates and things. So we'll just go ahead and have the normal on the 11th, and then just have an informal the day before Thanksgiving. Josh, did you want to say anything? I did get an email about a COVID relief fund for the clubs. Unfortunately, the deadline for the application is tomorrow. The original went out in August. I don't remember receiving it. I went back through my emails. I've been trying to put everything that has to do with Rotary in a certain little file. I do not see it, but Josh, Sharon, and I were gonna try to get together, so Josh can figure out, it's either given to you in a grant or a loan.
I looked at it.
Okay,
They're providing, the district looks like they're gonna provide necessary relief money. To any clubs that are in financial difficulties, I don't think this would apply to fundraising money, right? 'Cause we've got our operating budget, our operating account, which is all the dues that we do, like, which pays our bills. And then we got our fundraiser account. I don't think it's intended to help out with fundraising, of course. So our club, we don't have a whole lot of expenses. We don't rent this room. Our meals that you're eating are paid, you pay for those. I haven't noticed any real big change in the balance. I mean, we're not in any financial distress. So I don't know if we really qualify for any money anyways. So we don't need to borrow money because we've got money in CBA savings.
Just so we have to pay that back anyhow.
So it says that it could be a loan or it could be a grant. I don't know how they make that determination. It looks to be subjective. So, you know, the only other expenses that we've got, you know, we buy some badges, we buy some things here, some stamps. We pay for our DAC TV system. We don't have a whole lot of expenses, so I don't think we need to apply for anything because we're fine right now.
I just wanted
This has an effect outside of our fund, affecting our fundraising, and our operations that at all, really. The only, it really hasn't affected operations at all, other than there was you noticed on your dues, I decreased the regular dues there for the first part of the first quarter and then part of the second quarter when we weren't meeting full time. So we thought it appropriate to charge everybody for lunches when they had the opportunity to eat them. So as soon as we got back to full time, then dues went back to normal. But for the months that we missed, we didn't charge for regular dues. So we did miss out on some of that money because the club, on our operating account, we gain if people don't come to lunch, right? So if you pay your full dues and you never come to lunch, we don't have to pay the expense of your meal. So we do have profit, for lack of a better term, and that's money. And that profit we get there, it actually pays other things. But to sum it up, we're fine. I don't think that we need to apply for any money because I don't know that we can justify it to begin with.
Okay, sounds good. The only other thing, I did receive an email on basically growing our club. There is going to be some online classes, trainings and discussions. They're all free. There's a total of 3 and they're 1-hour trainings. The first will be Monday, October 19th. It's recruiting in the here and now. Is your club ready? They are saying that some of the clubs in our district have been successfully adding members. I don't think we're going as well with that as, but, and then Monday, November 2nd, new formats, new ideas, new perspectives. Monday, November 16th, diversity, equity, and inclusion and why it matters. So if that is something that you are interested in, you have to register for all 3 sessions. If you're interested, I can forward you the link to these.
Who's our membership?
I didn't bring my whole big thing.
I remember something. Was you, Dan?
I know foundation.
You were 2.
I was 2.
I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought you.
I don't remember if
I
she
might
was.
be. I think you asked me about foundation later or
I
something.
think that might be right.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull up a newsletter. It has to,
Oh.
yeah, it's got it all at the bottom. It's at the bottom, hold on, I
That
can
one
save them
picture.
all.
Ha.
So the membership chair definitely should go. I'll put it on them if I
loading.
The first one is 6 PM on Monday. So that would depend on if that's.
What time is it on Monday?
6 PM on the first one, October 19th.
Madam President.
It's just a Teams meeting type thing?
Yes.
I question that Josh may be able to answer, even though our attendance at our meetings have certainly dwindled, do we still have the same number of members? Has anyone left our organization because of COVID?
I don't think necessarily because of COVID. I think we've lost a couple, but that's been for business reasons.
Job switching.
Yeah, like I know Stacy from West Bank, well, I know our West Bank grads, but most of our West Bank group are members, but they just haven't been able to come because of their business restrictions.
Now Stacy Estep did resign.
She did resign because they moved her to another office.
And Miranda Tharp?
Yes.
Stacy Estep from West Banco because she
Oh, okay.
she took another position. And Miranda Tharp, who was with the WVU Reynolds.
Did they give us?
But
I was
and
thinking
think
more
her-
like people like Carol
Usually we send in
Miller
a
and
letter of
Bob Rudd.
resignation.
No, Bob's been joining us. Bob and
Oh,
Karen
okay.
have been joining us on Zoom.
Okay.
Bob's with us today.
Oh, we have one more person joining
Because
us.
there's people that I haven't seen.
Joan.
Right.
Oh, so who's the financial chair?
Okay,
And
Nancy.
I've
Member
resigned.
Joan just joined us.
Ah,
I have resigned people myself too.
Foundation, says Jen.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Yes.
And Joan just joined us, so we could ask.
she just
her.
joined us, yeah, so.
Hi, Jen.
Okay.
Hi.
Good.
Apparently that's how the newsletter stays.
Now, I think Joan,
Member citizens.
but I think,
But Joan didn't want to be.
no, and I think somebody else, and I didn't bring my whole
I
big
thought
binder
the
today.
foundation was.
You asked me.
Joan said she'd help somebody, but she doesn't want to be in charge.
I think that was when we ultimately, no one said that they would do it. So I think that's why it still remains the same in the system. 'Cause I don't know that I can leave it as a blank thing, but I don't think anyone has said that they would be.
Let me, like I said, I didn't bring my big binder with me today,
You're
so
so much
I am.
Okay, what did we do on the classes?
Okay,
Going back to membership, does anybody know Tara Fletcher? She's never paid dues for months.
Tara who?
Tara Fletcher.
Fletcher with a P.
She's from the nursing home.
Yeah,
down here. I don't know.
Trying to
she's-
think if I
think she
remember
came
her.
when she died.
Yeah,
When's the last time she was here? Was it before COVID or?
She's with Mountview.
Yeah,
I think
I'd
she
have to
was
see
at
a
the
face.
well, I don't know. Back when we were coming weekly.
A
I
long time
remember
ago.
her once or twice, but I would.
I'd say she
I would
has
do
a
her.
terminator.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, it'd be nice if they
They
said
might not
they're
be
gonna resign or not coming with
Yeah,
us,
she
a
wasn't
letter of
gonna be
resignation.
Stacy and Miranda are both, I would be, I was in the role.
Oh.
Right,
yeah,
yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
understandable, but.
That means we haven't received any kind of
Okay.
communication.
Wait, I have something.
yes.
So I don't, I've got Stacy on. I don't know if I ever actually ever invoiced her because she was only here a couple meetings and then gone.
Right. Well, someone put her in our system, so she's there for that, and she's listed on all of our emails as an active member.
Oh, no, I know she actually resigned
Who is that?
officially, Miranda.
Do you know when she did
And
that?
did you get my email about Karen Joseph?
Yeah.
I just wonder if some people that aren't allowed to go to their office, I have mine sent to the company, not my personal home, so maybe they're not receiving them right now.
I mean, dues have been okay. Like, so the only one that's been,
But if they
never
resign,
responded has
right,
been Tara Fletcher, but,
How far is she behind?
I just never paid.
Wonder if we have.
Maybe a year, I'd say we
Valid
probably need
address.
to.
I don't think I invoiced her the most recent time or the time before that.
I think maybe, I mean, Sharon, do we have a rule like, on this side that they don't resign or we're just gonna terminate them or?
I don't have anything to add.
We haven't enforced
I
it,
can't.
really.
Well, we never really, see, for as long as I've been in Rotary, I haven't, I don't know if I've experienced that, usually.
Well, they don't, well, we never want to cut them off. We just-
Yeah, I got it.
I don't wanna cut them off, but I mean,
Yeah, right.
but the thing is, do we keep,
No,
Or we just make her inactive, or-
Yeah, good.
I'm assuming
Hey
so.
guys, Stacy,
Yes.
did you see Jennifer left a note that Tara is no longer at Mound View? And she took another job.
Okay.
All right. Well, then we don't-
Thank you for that, Jennifer and Joan. Because no, we did not see that.
You're welcome.
Problem solved then.
Okay.
I have
I'll take
something.
care
Yes.
of their places. Resigning there.
Madam President,
Yes.
just in the future, not that I think any of you are gonna resign, but if you are gonna resign or know someone who is, try to get that formal communication to me, because like, I don't know these people who have officially resigned. I've had a couple who have, and that communication got to me, because as the secretary, I have to take care of that. So now I've got to figure out who these people are and if they have or haven't, because they're still active in our system, even though I guess they have an official resignation somewhere. So just like as a PSA, basically, if you know anyone, try to get that information to
I
me.
might
so
have the
it'll-
letter from
That would be
Stacy.
fantastic,
So-
yeah. Because I don't want to resign someone without that official documentation, just because, just for the,
Right,
yeah.
message on the screen.
That's the one. I just left them off.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
Yes.
a week or two ago, we talked about somebody knew somebody to jail, but wanted to join and couldn't.
Yes.
Okay, so we have so many clubs, we have 50 clubs now, and I know a lot of them are doing alternative things. So rather than try to go through those clubs and find out what they're doing, I called Becky Hunt, who's the district membership chair, and she will be here on November 11th. Probably in person, she might have to Zoom, but
Veterans Day, isn't it?
what?
That is Veterans Day.
That's Veterans Day.
November 11th, yeah.
If not in person, she'll do it by Zoom. But she's the district membership chair, and she's worked with all these clubs that are doing alternative things, so we'll get the information straight from her.
Because we did talk about possibly going an evening
Mhm.
too. If that would get our membership. up.
Right.
Okay, does anyone else have anything?
I think September's, I think September's been 10 years for me already as a Rotarian.
I think that evening thing would be nice, and maybe you could do it
I
something
can't
like
believe it.
the Grandview or something
Yeah.
in the evening, or one of the Wednesday nights. Not at the restaurant.
That'd be really nice.
I mean, they're close for the
They're
winter.
close for the season.
Well, Cody, I tried to take up some of your time, but you got about 15 minutes. Our speaker was supposed to be Tom, but he called Cody, and Cody has so graciously been voluntold that he is going to speak again today for us.
Yes. I will probably have to redo this speech though, because this one is about my job. And so I'm the district executive, for the Ohio River Valley Council of Boy Scouts of America. It's a big mouthful, ORVC in Wheeling, that's where we are stationed at. As a district executive, I help provide resources and fundraising, all kinds of stuff to our district, which consists of Marshall, Tyler, Wetzel, and Monroe counties. I'm in charge of all the schools there related to scouting. But previously, I had no experience as a Boy Scout. So I didn't climb through the ranks like a lot of our youth are. I didn't go through the giant history lesson, which is what I wanted to do when I was planning this speech. So I will probably have to redo that, maybe. It depends how much I can squeeze in 15 minutes and how much longer I can stall. So we'll go ahead and get started. Boy Scouts was founded in February 8th, 1910. I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I do have to look at my phone. Normally, I do not like to look at notes. I like to just move and talk. It was founded in 1910, but originally, Boy Scouts wasn't from America. It did not start in the United States. It started in England. There's about 5 founders. 2 of the main ones that I want to talk about are Baden-Powell and William Boyce. Oh, Baden-Powell, sorry. Lord Baron Baden-Powell. Okay. So he was a military hero, came back from Africa, and when he came back, he noticed that there was kids, or I guess we can call them scouts now, reading his survival tactics that he wrote as a military individual. And then he had this great idea. He's like, oh, okay, so why don't I take this survival, this nature thing, and build a youth program? And then with this program, get them ready for adult life, get them out there, and at the time, probably more or less get them to join the army. So that's kind of how it started over in England. But what's really interesting is with William D. Boyce. So in 1909, I'm going to read this. Boyce lost his way in a dense London fog. A boy came to his aid and after guiding the man, refused a tip, explaining that as a scout, he would not take a tip for doing a good turn, a good deed. This gesture from that scout inspired a meeting between Boyce and Baden-Powell, who wrote the survival book, and Boyce brought this to America, the United States in 1910. So it started, it came to the United States from a kid helping some gentleman that got lost in the fog, and the kid just did, the right thing and didn't want an award for that. And that sparked the movement. Doing the right thing, doing that good turn, helping, just helping your fellow human. So that's cool. Now I'm going to move on to some of the other facts I made my wife send me while we were sitting here eating. Sorry. Like I said, this is improv too, but I did want to cover some of the famous people real quick. The next time I do this speech, I will have more information. But some of the important Eagle Scouts. Some you may know, some others probably not. The first Eagle Scout ever, which is Eagle Scout, by the way, highest honor you can get, was a guy named Arthur Eldred. That's all the information I have. Next.
I remember Arthur.
Yes, me too. Swell guy. Next, of course, we have Neil Armstrong, right? The astronaut, first man on the moon. Gerald Ford, U.S. president. He was the first president to receive Eagle. I can't remember if he's the only. I know that we have a few presidents that have been Boy Scouts. This guy, Stephen Fawcett. Crazy stuff. So he's in the Eagle Scout, but he flew the first, solo, non-stop around the world in a hot air balloon. And in an ultralight airplane. He won the he ran from Chicago to, oh my goodness. He did Iditarod dog races. He did boat races from Chicago to Mackinac or something like that. Several Ironman triathlons. I mean, this guy's just, I wanted to do that because I thought it was cool that he's flown around the world in a hot air balloon, that he did all these extraordinary, adrenaline rush things. Frederick Rains, he was an American physicist who won the Nobel Prize for discovering the neutrino. That's a bunch of big fancy words. And basically, that has to do with our understanding of particle physics, which is a lot. How light moves, how anything happens. And then, last but not least, Steven Spielberg. When he was working on his photography masters, he did a small film of his troop, which I think is awesome. Let's see. President Ford once said, "I can say without hesitation because of scouting principles. I know I was a better athlete, I was a better naval officer, I was a better congressman, and I was a better prepared president." So through scouting, be prepared, do a good deed, teaches you a lot. And with that, I have a meeting that I have to get to real quick. So I apologize that, that wasn't a formal thing on scouting in the background, but this was kind of last minute. I will redo my, what is this speech actually called? The first one was vocational.
Yeah, this is just our, as a speaker.
Okay, well, I will actually do one with, details. But yeah, for now, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say that was fantastic to be thrown on the spot. You're so engaging and captivating when you talk, so I know we'll take you every
Hey,
week.
you know what's great, or what's not great, but what's funny is I do not like speaking to anybody. Except maybe kids. I'm good with that. You guys, right now, I can feel my blood moving through my body. Okay, like it's like
for kids.
Yeah, you are.
I know,
But your
that's what everybody
speaking
tells me.
shows why the kids like you so much,
Definitely.
because you are so, like she said, you're engaging, you're entertaining, you're,
Yeah.
you know.
And you change your voice when you say,
Yeah.
speak for,
Yeah, you have very good,
I love that.
you have very good speaking skills. You really do.
Well, thank you guys. That means a lot because I don't like to speak. All right.
You're really good at it.
Any questions? I'll save the questions for when I do my actual.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank you very much, Katie.
Not the same one, but
Does anybody have anything else for the benefit of the
No.
vote? All right.
How about any of you guys? Guess not.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's-
just so that way I do.
Joan, Bob, thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to give me a little input, do you think it was better placement with our computer screen? And did you feel a little bit more part of the group today with where you were, or?
I liked being able to see the group.
Yes.
That was great.
Okay, great. We'll continue that next week. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We really appreciate it. We love seeing you, or at least hearing from you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
Ashley.
great day.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All righty.
How are you?